Good evening. First at 5, bombshell testimony from Christian Bahena Rivera today as he took the stand in his own murder trial.
Bahena Rivera told the court 2 other men in masks killed Molly Tibbetts and forced him to help them hide the body.
How many times did you drive by Ms. Tibbetts?
¿Y ahora cuántas veces pasó usted manejando por la señora Tibbetts?
Alrededor de 3 o 4.
Around 3 or 4.
And that was at direction of these men, is that right?
De estos hombres, así es.
Correcto.
Correct.
But prosecutors came back with some tough questions for Bahena Rivera about why he didn't tell this to police.
KCCI's Chris Gothner is live in Davenport tonight as the defense rests its case.
Stephen Stacey, of course, Christian Bahena Rivera was under no obligation to testify today, but he chose to in order to explain his version of events. And that version is, yes, he was involved in the kidnapping and murder of Molly Tibbetts, but he was not a willing participant. That's what he testified today, and that he was not the one who killed her, testifying that he did not tell investigators the whole truth when they initially interviewed him. The crux of his testimony was that 2 unidentifiable men came to his trailer, told him not to do anything stupid, then forced him to drive, passing Tibbetts a few times as she was jogging. Then he testified that one of the men got out of the car while the other stayed inside. Here's what he says happens next through a Spanish interpreter.
He just started going towards forward, towards the town direction.
How long was he gone?
Alrededor de 10-12 minutos.
Around 10 to 12 minutes.
The guy in the back, was he doing anything?
What I heard him saying is, come on, Jack.
What happened next?
Well, around like 12 minutes after, that person comes back to the car. He gets in.
What happens next?
Me piden que siga manejando.
They asked me to continue driving.
Now, Bahena Rivera did not identify the men as Dalton or his brother Blake Jack or anyone else for that matter. His attorneys have been trying to cast suspicion, though, on Dalton throughout the trial. Bahena Rivera claims after the men returned, he was ordered to drive to a rural Poweshiek County cornfield where they took off, never seeing them again, but not before they threatened his daughter's life if he told anybody. Bahena Rivera says he then opened the trunk after they left, found Tibbetts' body and placed it in the cornfield himself, covering her body with corn stalks to keep her out of the sun, he says. Prosecutor Scott Brown had some tough questions for Bahena Rivera on cross-examination, trying to poke holes in his account and implying that certain elements of it simply beggar belief.
You drove the 2 men in your Malibu to the cornfield where you dumped Molly Tibbetts, correct?
Sí.
Yes.
And you're telling us that you drove back to your home alone?
Sí.
Yes.
And you happened to find your cell phone and the keys in the trunk of the car?
Sí.
Yes.
And these 2 men just disappeared?
Así es.
That's right.
Now, Bahena Rivera testified that he chose not to call police and lied to them later out of fear for his daughter's safety. Brown also questioned him on that today. Now, with the defense resting its case today, we're expecting to go into closing arguments tomorrow and then jury deliberation, although before that, the prosecution is able to call rebuttal witnesses to the stand if they so choose. We're live in Davenport. Chris Gothner, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
And it wasn't clear until today whether Bahena Rivera would take the stand. Some defendants don't testify in their own defense. KCCI's Scott Carpenter talked to a legal expert about why Bahena Rivera's lawyers would call him as a witness.
Well, Stacey, I spoke with Lucas Taylor, a defense attorney in Des Moines. He says a defendant taking the stand is not unique. Taylor says the defense will call their client if they feel it gives the jury a clear picture of their story. When Bahena Rivera was under oath, he testified that 2 armed men forced him to take them to the spot where Molly Tibbetts was jogging. The defense trying to make the case that Bahena Rivera was forced to comply. Taylor says this could result in a not guilty verdict, but only if the jury believed his testimony.
It's going to come down to, in this case, whether the jury believes that he was credible in his testimony and whether his story makes sense. And so it comes down to, do you believe him or not?
And as Chris was saying earlier, Rivera also testified that he heard one of the armed men say, "Come on, Jack," in the backseat of his car, implicating a specific person was involved in the killing. We hear from Taylor on how he thinks that could influence the jury tonight at 6.
KCCI brought you Bahena Rivera's testimony live just after he took the stand this morning. And tomorrow morning at 8:30, we will bring you closing arguments as they get underway live from Davenport. You can also watch on the KCCI mobile app or kcci.com. And you can turn on app notifications to get breaking updates on the trial sent directly to your phone.